Welcome back, everyone, ready for another deep dive. Today, we're tackling a phrase that might sound familiar, maybe even a little cliche. Broken heart syndrome. I mean, we've all heard it, right? Sounds like something you'd see in a bad rom-com. But get this, it's actually a real medical condition. And the way we're going to untack this is, well, let's just say it's a bit unorthodox. We're bridging a TV show reference, a personal note, and get this, a passage from the Bible.
Intriguing. That's quite the mix. It's fascinating how often ancient wisdom seems to intersect with our modern understanding of things,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to the mind-body connection, right?
Right. You hit the nail on the head. And speaking of connections, the note we're starting with comes from a woman named Mildred Acharch, dated March 24, 2009. It mentions her watching an episode of Strong Medicine. And here's where it gets interesting. She was at an internet cafe. Remember those? Those were the days, huh?
Oh, I remember them well.
Yeah.
Dial-up and all. Those are the go-to spots to hop online before everyone and their grandma had Wi-Fi.
Exactly. So picture this. Mildred's at the cafe, watching her show, and boom, the term broken heart syndrome pops up. Now, Mildred, being the curious soul that she was, immediately Googles it. It really makes you think about how much easier it is to access information now, even compared to just a decade or so ago. Anyway, she discovers it's not just some made-up TV drama, it's a real medical condition. What was your first reaction when you heard about broken heart syndrome? Before you knew the science behind it, I mean.
Honestly, I thought it was just a saying, a figure of speech, a way to describe the pain of heartbreak. But then learning about the science, that's when it clicked for me. It just shows you how deeply our emotions can affect us physically. It's incredible, really.
It really is. So we have this condition linked to heartbreak, but it can manifest in physical ways. Kind of mind-blowing.
It really is. In a nutshell, broken heart syndrome, or Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, as it's known medically, is basically a temporary heart condition. The heart muscle weakens, and it's often triggered by extreme emotions or stressful situations. It could be the loss of a loved one, intense grief, but here's the kicker. Even extreme joy or fear can do it. The common thread. It's that surge of emotion. That's what seems to trigger it.
Wait, so you're telling me even good news can cause this?
You got it. Sounds odd, but it's true. You see, the sympathetic nervous system, that's the one responsible for our fight or flight response. It doesn't really distinguish between what we perceive as good or bad stress. So whether you're over the moon about winning the lottery or terrified because you just escaped a burning building, your body gets flooded with hormones like adrenaline. And sometimes that can really mess with your heart. It can actually mimic a heart attack. Think chest pain, shortness of breath, the whole 9 yards.
Wow, that's wild. You'd never think your heart could be so reactive. But let's get back to Mildred's note. It's like her curiosity took on a completely different path. She goes from strong medicine to, wait for it, Psalm 69 from the Bible. And she specifically mentions verse 20. Want to hear what it says?
Lay it on me. I'm definitely curious now.
Okay, so it reads, I am crushed by insults and I feel sick. I had hoped for mercy and pity, but there was none. It's kind of eerie how it captures that feeling of heartbreak, wouldn't you say?
No kidding. And think about it. This was written thousands of years ago, long before we even knew about stress hormones or broken heart syndrome. It just goes to show this connection between our emotions and our physical well-being. It's not a new concept. It's fascinating how something so ancient can still resonate with what we're learning through modern science.
Absolutely. It makes you wonder what else we might have overlooked. And what's even more intriguing is how Mildred ends her note. She writes, sometimes the best medicine is just knowing that you're not the only one.
Isn't that the truth? It's like knowing that someone else gets it, that they've been through something similar. It can make all the difference. It's that whole we're in this together feeling, even if it's just emotionally.
Totally. It's like a reminder that you're not alone in what you're going through. But, okay, we've talked about the emotional side, but what about the actual science behind it? What's going on in the body when someone experiences broken heart syndrome?
All right, so let's picture this. Think of your heart like an orchestra, right? You've got all these different sections, each playing its part, and everything needs to be in sync for the music to work.
I like where you're going with this. Keep going.
So you've got this perfect harmony happening, and then suddenly, bam, there's this huge jarring sound that throws everything off. That's kind of what happens with broken heart syndrome. The left ventricle, which is the main pumping chamber of the heart, it basically gets overwhelmed and struggles to pump effectively. It's like the whole orchestra goes out of tune.
So it's like instead of a smooth flowing symphony, you get a chaotic mess.
Exactly. And a big part of that disruption comes from those stress hormones we were talking about earlier. It's like your body hits the panic button, flooding your system with adrenaline, and unfortunately, the heart takes the brunt of it.
And even though it's not a typical heart attack, it's still a serious situation, right? Like, you need to
Yeah.
get medical attention ASAP.
100%. The symptoms are the real deal, and it's not something to mess around with. You need to get help right away. The good news is that with the right care, the heart usually recovers within a few weeks. But it just goes to show you how much our mental and emotional well-being can impact our physical health. It's like ignoring your mental health can literally make you sick.
It's a powerful message for sure. We often treat our minds and bodies as separate entities, but Mildred's story and the science behind broken heart syndrome, it really highlights that they're intertwined. It makes you think, if a sudden emotional shock can do that to your heart, what about all the chronic, low-grade stress we deal with every day, the kind we often brush off or try to ignore? What are your thoughts on that?
That's a great point, and it's something we should all be more aware of. We were talking about a single event, like a sudden loss, triggering broken heart syndrome. But the effects of chronic stress on your heart, even if it's low level, it's like death by a thousand cuts. It can really add up over time.
I've never thought about it like that. It's almost like our bodies are keeping score of every stressful experience, even if we try to convince ourselves that we're handling it.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, this isn't a new idea. We talked about Psalm 69 earlier and how it touches on this connection between mind and body. It's like for centuries, people have intuitively understood this link, even without all the fancy medical terms we use today.
It really makes you appreciate the wisdom that can be found in ancient traditions and texts. Are there any other examples that come to mind, like other practices or beliefs throughout history that highlight this connection?
Oh, absolutely. There are tons of examples. Like, think about traditional Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
They've been talking about this for, like, what, thousands of years, with qi and balancing energy and all that. Or Ayurveda from India. It's all about that mind-body-spirit connection. It's like
Yeah.
they were onto something all along, and we're just catching up.
Exactly. We're
Right?
finally starting to understand that it's not about the mind or the body. It's about how they work together. Like, did you know that chronic stress can actually weaken your immune system? You're more likely to get sick if you're stressed out all the time. But on the flip side, things like mindfulness, meditation, cultivating positive emotions, all that good stuff, it can actually improve your physical health too. It's pretty amazing. It really is. This whole deep dive has been eye-opening, to say the least. We started with Mildred and her internet cafe adventures, and now we're here talking about ancient wisdom and the mind-body connection. Who knew?
Right. It's been quite a ride. But I think Mildred's note really sums it all up perfectly. That line about sometimes the best medicine is just knowing that you're not the only one. It really hits home.
It does. In a world that often feels obsessed with being strong and having it all together, it's kind of freeing to remember that we're all human. We all have our struggles, our vulnerabilities, both physically and emotionally.
Absolutely. And it's okay to reach out for help, whether it's to a friend, a therapist, or even just finding comfort in ancient wisdom. It's not a weakness. It's just part of being human. We're all in this
Right.
together, right? Trying to navigate this crazy thing called life.